What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna take a look at the Spartan collection KAT from Jazwares. They are a newer company, I believe, and I honestly didn't know about them until they started making these Halo figures. And I am just really happy to see that there are Halo figures back on the shelves. It's been a while, I feel like. The last ones were the Mattel Halo 5 figures, which, by the way, were absolute turds. But yeah, this is a change of pace. I really like these. I will get into it more throughout the video, obviously, but before I do that, let's go ahead and take a look at the box. Okay, so here's the box for the figure. It does include a in-game add-on, it says right there. I believe all the figures do from Series 1. It says Halo down here, Spartan Collection on the corner, and then it says KAT up there, UNSC on the top, nothing at the bottom, and then on this side, nothing, and then on the back it says Halo Spartan Collection. There's a picture of the figure, what it includes. Here's the other figures from the wave. Again, I believe they all come with in-game add-ons, and that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories she comes with. Alright, here are the accessories that come with the figure, and this is honestly more than I was expecting for a $20 figure. These are $20, and I think you can find them at your Targets, Walmarts, and GameStops fairly easily, but Amazon is a nightmare. They are way overpriced on there. So yeah, anyways, she comes with a set of open, relaxed hands, and I really like the detail that went into these, especially the mechanical hands, as she has a robotic arm. But yeah, these look really good. Nice sculpted detail and everything. The paint's clean, and they do have a slight dry brush. I don't know if it'll pick up on camera, but you'll definitely see it later on the figure. All the hands do just have a hinge, but I will say I'm really scared about breaking the pegs for the robotic hand, because they are so tiny. So do be aware of that. And oh, I forgot. I did want to say that the figure comes with trigger finger hands in the package. So yeah, and the trigger finger hands do not have a up and down hinge, so that is a problem. But you do get a fist hand for the robotic arm. For some reason you don't for the regular one, but it does have a really nice sculpt to it, just like the other ones. And then you get a, I don't even know what to call this. I think it's kind of like a pointing slash saluting slash I don't know hand. I don't know, it looks good, and they've been including these with all their figures, so whatever. And then she comes with a pistol, and they do use a soft plastic that I don't really like on all the guns, because most of them come warped in the package, but this one is fine. It has really nice sculpted detail on there, and you get a nice metallic silver paint for the top of the gun, and then a nice matte black for the rest. Again, really nice sculpt, and it does peg into the side of the figure. I will show you that later. And then you get this big honkin' Spartan laser cannon. This also will peg into the back, and it's bigger, so it's not that warped. Again, it's flexible, but there are lots of nice paint apps on here. Everything is done in a matte finish, other than the silver parts. You get some just nice metallic silver right there. UNSC up here, that's really clean. And then on the other side, same thing. So overall, pretty nice weapons. But then there's the head sculpt, and it's a nice sculpt and everything, I guess. You get the scar she had, but it's rather soft, and the paint on mine It's pretty clean, but I have seen some that are horrendous. Like, I was at a Target one time and I saw one on the shelf, and the eyes were like, I don't even know how to describe it. It was bad. They were like not even in the general area. But yeah, I think it would have looked a lot better if they had photo real technology just like Hasbro does. But they obviously don't, and that makes sense because they're a newer company. But it has a good sculpt to it, and the paint is clean enough. I probably won't be displaying my figure with this on her though. I might repaint it. So good sculpt, but not the best paint, I guess. So overall, I'll give the accessories a I'll give it a 8 out of 10. It's a pretty good batch, especially for a $20 figure. I don't like the plastic they use for the weapons, but it wasn't a big deal on this since the weapons are smaller and bigger. But when they're right in between like an assault rifle, they get warped up and it's bad. The hands are nice, but I do think it would have been nice if there was a fist for the other side. And then the head had a nice sculpt to it, but the paint wasn't that great. So 8 out of 10. Let's move on to the figure itself. Okay, so here she is, and I gotta say, right off the bat, I love that chrome visor. I haven't seen this since the Joyride figures, and holy cow, does that look good. They have it on all their figures except, I believe there's Series 4? No, Series 3 figures. For some reason on Series 3, they didn't do it, but on all the other waves, they have nice metallic chrome visors, and they look amazing. But, it does have dry brushing on all the figure, as I said before, you would see. So that looks really good, and the paint apps are really nice and clean. It's all matte, it's not glossy and toy-ish looking. And the sculpt is really nice too. The arm over here has some nice metallic paint on it, so that's really cool. And overall, it's a really sharp looking figure. My leg over here, when I like bent it, it did break right there. But I do think I will be able to fix that. Moving down to the legs, you have some white right there, and then a pouch on this side. And then how you put the pistol on her hip is you take this out, flip it around, and put it back in. And I think that's really cool. I do think the peg sticks out a bit too far, because when you try to put the pistol in, it does stick out a bit too much for my liking. As you can see, like, that's not the best. That's not good at all. But like, it's not a big deal. You can literally just take some scissors and snip a bit off of it, and it'll be fine. This is the only figure I've seen something weird like that happen on. And then on the back, you get a peg as well. And mine is not wanting to come out and flip around. On all my other figures they do, but it's fine. I do have mine posed on the shelf right now with the Spartan laser in her back, so it's fine. But it does fit in nicely and it doesn't fall out, so that's cool. And yeah, there is paint on the back of the figure, so that's really nice. Don't see that a lot. I do wish they put this information on the bottom of the feet, but they didn't, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, overall, it's a pretty aesthetically pleasing figure. It has nice sculpt, and it has a dry brushing on it, and the paint apps overall are pretty, they're all pretty clean. And I love the chrome visor. Again, it looks so good. So overall for aesthetics, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It's pretty good. I do think it would look better if it had a black wash, but you can obviously do that on your own. It doesn't take that much hassle. And another thing is it has pins in it. You know that I don't like pins. But other than that, it's really good. Nice paint apps and everything, and a really sharp sculpt. So 8 out of 10. Let's move on to articulation. Alright, articulation wise, we have a double ball peg for the head, so it'll look up just a tad, it'll look down nicely, and you get some really nice attitude out of it, and it will go all the way around as well. On the non-bionicle arm, it will go past T-pose, back in all the way around, and there is a butterfly joint in here. It'll click back once, and then click forward once, so that's nice. Don't see butterfly joints on figures that often, so that's pretty cool. You get a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that bend in all the way. That is amazing. And then you get a swivel and hinge at the wrist. Again, I wish they were up and down as they should be for the trigger finger hands. And I believe this could be the best diaphragm joint on all the Halo figures from the line. It'll crunch forward a bit, back a bit, side to side, and it'll twist. And I know you're probably like, oh, well, that's not that good. And it isn't, but you should see the other figures. Their diaphragm joint is literally non-existent. I'll get into it once I review them, but it's pretty messy. So anyways, onto the other arm. It moves past T-pose, back in, all the way around. Single jointed elbow, and it gets past 90, so that's cool. And you get a swivel there as well, and then swivel and a hinge. The legs are very squeaky, but they're stiff, so that's good. They're not loose. They will kick forward that far, not that far back. Out to the side, better than 45. This side has more range because it obviously doesn't have a pouch. And then we get to the knees, and yeah, it's not the greatest looking knee ever. I mean, just look at that. It's not the greatest. I do see why they did it though. They wanted to do it at this armor plate and then that armor plate. And I can't really think of a better way to do that type of double jointed knee right off the top of my head. So I guess what they did was fine. It just doesn't look that great when it's bent. It's better than the Halo 2 Master Chief knee. Holy cow. You'll see what I'm talking about when I do a review on the Halo 2 Master Chief from Wave 4. That knee is a abomination. It's pretty bad. Anyways, the feet will go really, really far back. Not that far forward, but it does have a nice ankle rocker. And then you get a toe pivot. It'll go up and down. And the way they did it, it's nice and smooth. It's not like blocky, so that's nice. So articulation-wise, overall, I'll give it a 7.5. 7.5 out of 10. Obviously, the diaphragm could be better, and then the knees look horrendous when bent. I mean, they're not terrible, but they don't look normal, I guess. But it's cool that they put a butterfly joint on that shoulder. They didn't on that because they had to like glue that part in because it was separate. It was a it was a different sculpt than that. But that's fine with me. So overall, 7.5 out of 10. Let's move on to some size comparisons. All right, our first size comparison is gonna be Emil from Wave 2, I believe, from Noble Team. These look really good together. I will do a review on Emil as soon as I can, but I do believe they are putting one Noble Team member in every wave. This was Wave 1, Wave 2, Wave 3 was Noble 6, and then Wave 4 is June, I believe. That's how you pronounce his name. I think it's June, the sniper dude. And then Wave 5 and Wave 6 will either be George or Carter, and I can't wait to have my full Noble Team on display. But so far, these Noble Team members look really good. So yeah, their heights are about the same. Emil is slightly shorter, but he was a shorter dude in the game, so that's accurate. And then here is your average 6-inch-ish Marvel Legends. And as you can see, the Spartan is taller, and that is accurate because Spartans, as Halo nerds would know, are taller than humans because of like their enhancements and stuff. So yeah, that's accurate, and I really like that. I think I forgot to measure her. I keep forgetting to measure the figures when I'm going over aesthetics, but she stands at about 7 inches to the top of her helmet, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, overall, pretty good figure. Really happy that Halo figures are back on the shelves, and I'm really enjoying all the figures from the wave, though I do think they could improve on the knees and diaphragm joints, but they are a newer company, so that's understandable. Overall, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It's a pretty solid release, and there are things that they could do better, but some things are already done very well. So if you're looking for some 6-inch scale, 1/12 scale Halo figures, these are definitely the way to go. They retail at 20 bucks, but they are relatively hard to find. I found mine at GameStop, Walmart, and Target recently. So thanks for watching the video. Please like, please subscribe, and comment down below if you have any questions. And I will see you next time.